Welcome to DIY Easy Crafts and Bergknifemaking.com. Today we're going to take a look at just how easy it is to grind knife bevels using the tilt table jig. So for this video, it's not going to be a complete build like a lot of my YouTube videos are. I'm just going to show you real time how I'm beveling three knives. The blanks are all the same. They're all AEBL stainless steel. I'm using a 36 grit belt, and I'm using a Oregon or an Origin blade maker 2x72 grinder. It's a 2 horsepower variable speed. And I've probably got the speed set at about 60 or 70%. My goal here is not to, produce the fastest possible bevel grind, but to provide a really good grind. I'm basically doing the rough grinds here. I'll then heat treat the knives, temper them, and then go back and finish the bevels with a finer grit belt. Now the tilt table was designed to mount on a variety of different 2x72 grinders. Basically any grinder that will accept an 1.5-inch tooling arm. What's neat about this particular jig is that it is adjustable. It moves up and down, so you can grind anywhere on the flat platen you'd like. It has an adjustment that moves left to right, which allows you to center it on whatever type of grinder you have. And of course, you can set the angle. In addition to those adjustments, you can also true up the table to the flat surface of the flat platen, which really makes for grinding bevels, or makes grinding bevels very easy. So all you do in order to use this jig is you hold the blank flat against the table, and then you slowly pull the blank from side to side. Doesn't really matter what direction you go into or you're going to. Also, I've prepped each one of these blades with Dykem Blue, and I scribed center lines on the edge. So the whole time that I'm grinding, I'm really just keeping a close eye on that center line, or that center scribed line, and I'm just grinding evenly to both of those parallel train track etched center lines. The whole process is pretty quick once you get the hang of it. The trick is holding the blade nice and flat against that table. What I'm doing here is just pivoting it on my thumb. And it really just takes a few passes. A coarse grit belt, of course, will generate less heat than finer grit belts will. It will remove material much faster. And after every couple of passes, I'm just quenching in a water tank, 5-gallon bucket that I have on the side of the grinder. And if at any time I see that I'm a little bit too close to the line in one area or not quite close enough in another, I can spend more time on one area and then just go back. So that's another bevel. Rough grinds completely finished. I'm trying to show you real time here. So this is a fresh blank. And the first pass or two, I'm really just getting rid of that hard edge, that hard corner. You can see I just adjusted. I have a work light attached to the 2x72 grinder, and that really makes it nice, a little bit easier for my old eyes to focus on the center lines. With any type of grinder, you want to make sure that you don't overheat the tip of the blade, especially when the blade gets narrower and pointy. You can generate heat there a lot faster, and you don't want to overheat that area. So a good rule is every 2 or 3 passes, quench in the water. I'm trying to be fairly consistent with my plunge line, but I'm not overly concerned about that at this point. Because these are rough bevels, I'm going to go back after heat treating and I'll true up the plunge lines at that time. So that's another bevel completely done. I think we're about 5 minutes into the video, so you're looking at about 2.5 minutes per bevel. Now grinding the other side is exactly the same, just in a different direction. And this tilt table, is completely adjustable. You can adjust the angle on the tilt table so that you have a different width on the bevel. These particular blades are going to get full blade etching, so I want to have a decent amount of flat surface available on each blade for a nautical blade etching, which is going to be done after heat treating and before the finished bevels. You can also use the same tilt table jig when doing hollow grinds. I think, as I mentioned before, as long as your machine will hold a standard 1.5-inch tooling arm, this table is actually designed to use the Origin Blade Maker or OBM tooling arm, which comes pre-tapped. You can just bolt it right onto that arm. So even if you don't have an OBM grinder, we certainly recommend that you buy one of their tooling arms, which are about, I think they sell for $35. And this is just another view going in the opposite direction. Spending a little bit more time now at the tip because it was a little bit too thick. And if I do go out of sequence and I do grind a little bit more by the tip to even things out, I usually will make one, fairly smooth pass from left to right. And not really applying a tremendous amount of pressure. The pressure is really just keeping the blank flat against the table. Now, if anybody's interested in considering buying one of these tilt tables, I'll put a link in the description of this video. I think making this tilt table jig has probably been, if not the single most, one of the single most major changes in the production of my knives, and it has increased the quality of the blades that I put out tremendously. In fact, the only other tool that probably comes close is the purchase of a good 2x72 grinder. But anyway, that's it. Nice quick video. Just wanted to show you again how I grind my bevels using the tilt table jig. These are the knives that I was grinding today, and I'll show you a couple of finished products after the heat treating, the tempering, the scales, the etching, the whole 9 yards. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I ask that you please comment, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please join us on the web at DIYEasyCrafts.com. If you're interested in one of my knives, also check out my site at Bergknifemaking.com. And by all means, check us out on the web at our Facebook group, Knives and Knife Making. Thank you very much.